and welcome to Newsmax TV. I'm John Bachman. Joining me right now from Washington, D.C. is Congressman Ted Poe, who represents the state of Texas. Congressman, thanks for being with us today.
Good to talk to you, John.
All right, so give us the latest. Now we're into the second day of the government shutdown. Where do things stand, at least in the House of Representatives?
Well, the House of Representatives, as you know, has tried several times to work with the Senate. We've sent over 3 pieces of legislation. Each one of them was really a compromise that was rejected by the Senate Democrats and rejected by the President. Yesterday we also sent over more piecemeal legislation to fund the parks, to fund our veterans benefits, to let Washington, D.C. Use its own money to fund projects here in Washington. Once again, the House Democrats voted against that. That legislation did not pass because it didn't get enough votes. So we've been trying to continue to work the government, allow the government to receive funding. The whole issue centers around, of course, Obamacare, the socialized medicine that has been presented by the President. And so that's where we are today. We will try to work and come up with some more suggestions. Meanwhile, the Senate is basically closed down. They're not doing anything. The President spends time campaigning and blaming Republicans. It's interesting, John, when Nero fiddled while Rome burned. Our president played golf over the weekend while the government shut down. Nero blamed the Christians and Obama blames the Republicans. It's an interesting analogy.
Congressman, the president was talking, he was clear. He was talking about this faction. The word extremist has been used by other lawmakers to refer to the Tea Party caucus in the House. We have guys like Scott Rigell from Virginia and Peter King of New York talking about putting through a clean CR with nothing dealing with Obamacare to get things moving along, to take this shutdown maybe to the next stage or get through this impasse that we're at right now. So there is some disagreement within the caucus. But what did you think about the president's comments specifically, since he was, a lot of folks could say he was talking specifically about a guy like yourself?
Well, the president was real personal. He made personal attacks on members of the House of Representatives. It's not very presidential in my opinion. But the government to be shut down is really the fault of the president and the Democrats, because Congress, the House, has passed legislation to fund the government, but we don't want to fund Obamacare. But we fund everything else. They don't want to fund anything in the government. So let's put the blame where it belongs, and that's the president. Calling us out, making it personal, he can do that if he wants to. But we're going to hopefully stand our ground and make sure that we do the right thing for the American public. I'm not so sure that there is a great division in the Republican caucus. Sure, we disagree because we're independent Republicans. But I think at the end of the day, we're going to be united on this, on continuing to try to work something out with the Senate. I don't see a clean CR coming up anytime soon from the House of Representatives, however.
Well, the Senate Democrats, they've thumbed their nose at this idea of delaying the individual mandate, the medical device tax, and other provisions as well. Some things that have been offered up by the Republican Party. They clearly are not willing to compromise on any of those things. Democrats are saying that they have compromised. They've agreed to fund the government at lower levels than previously agreed to in the past. So, what is the best you think that the GOP can hope for? This is a debate. This is a negotiation. Everybody kind of knows that, despite all the theatrics going on. There's going to be some sort of compromise here eventually. What do you think is the best thing the GOP can hope for at this point?
Well, we'll continue to try to fund specific portions of the government. That's the plan for today. We will proceed with regular order on that, which means that the votes will only have to be 50%, 51% rather than 2/3 like yesterday. So we'll offer the compromise of let's fund the veterans, let's fund our national parks, we'll fund other specific agencies in the United States government at current levels, and that's what we're going to do. The Democrats can revoke that or vote against that if they wish and be obstinate and not fund the government to keep it shut down. I mean, the Senate basically is closed already. They've been closed for 5 years, as far as I'm concerned, with Harry Reid over there refusing to ever vote on some of our important legislation. So that's our plan, and that's what we're going to do for, I think, for the next few days.
And we'll see where things go from here. No sign of breakthrough just quite yet, but we want to thank you very much for your time. Congressman Ted Poe, it's been a pleasure talking with you as always, sir.
Thank you, John.
And thank you for watching Newsmax TV.